Hey, what's happening, guys? So I've been getting a lot of questions about this topic. And the question that I probably get the most is, what is dating like in Spain? Or rather, what are Spanish women like? A topic that's going to vary, obviously based on where you are in the country, how old you are, what you're looking for. But I can give you my experience, and you can take from that what you can. And if there's something specific I haven't covered, you can leave me some comments, and I'll get to that in another video if I need to. So go ahead and like this one, and we'll get this started. All right. So I've noticed, if I had to compare women from America versus women from Spain, is that they tend to look for very different things. They put priorities on things that are not as important. And the reverse happens too, because Spanish women, they put priority on things that American women don't care about so much. I'll give you a couple examples, and you can kind of see where I'm coming from. So American women care a lot about height. I don't care what y'all say. I don't want to hear about, I got a cousin, he's 5'3" and he's dating a 6 foot model. There's an exception to every rule, but generally American women care a lot more about height than any other place that I've been, and definitely more than in Spain. So I don't know if that's because in America, we care about the NBA a lot, and people are taller, and there's more of a basketball culture than there is in other places. I don't really know, but it is what it is. American women care if you are, a shorter guy. I've noticed in Spain, this is less of an issue. Now, Spanish people are not all short. I know you probably have, some kind of stereotypes of like a short Italian guy, or like maybe a shorter Latin American kind of a guy. In Spain, I wouldn't really say that the guys are that short. Now, obviously the older generations, like, you're talking a Spanish guy in their 40s or 50s or something. Yeah, they're pretty short if you want to compare them to an American. But if you get down to this generation, the guys that are in their teens now, all the way up to, the mid 20s, these guys are basically the same height as Americans for the most part. The Spanish women, they really don't care about height. So a guy who's, maybe only 5'6" in America, he might feel like he's at a really big disadvantage. Here, he's really not going to have that kind of a problem. Also, finances. Finances obviously are going to be attractive to women no matter where you go. Nobody's trying to date a bum, nobody's trying to date a loser. But I feel like the material things that come with having, your finances in order, which is something you should have anyway. All the toys and the cool things that go with that is more important in America than it is here. I don't know if that's because of, the recession that Spain had, where, a lot of people didn't have a whole bunch of extra money. They weren't poor, but they didn't have, just money to throw around. Spanish women, the first thing they won't ask you is, what kind of work do you do? How much are you making? They're not really taking it to that financial support kind of an aspect. They don't immediately go there. In America, in some places, who kind of, that's the first thing that they're thinking about is, okay, what kind of car is he driving? All right, what kind of shoes are those? Are they Gucci? Are they Armani? He got the new J's. Is he always rocking J's? These kind of things are not as important in Spain. Not saying that, you don't have women who care about those things. Yes, there are women who care about those things, but it's not the first thing. I feel like connection is the first thing. They want to know more what your hobbies are. They want to know, are we going to get along? Is this guy cool? Are we going to have a good vibe together? Obviously, they want to know, does he speak my language? So, comparing to coming from an English-speaking country, yes, if you grew up there, everyone speaks English, everyone understands each other. Now, the younger generation is starting to care a little bit more about English, and they're making efforts, but they still got a way to go. One of the primary things that's going to limit your dating options here is whether or not you speak the language. You don't have to speak it perfectly. Nobody expects you to get off the plane and, just be flowing with it right out of your mouth immediately. No, they care that you're trying, that you're making an effort, that you're not just sitting there with your arms crossed like, all right, you got to impress me. All right, speak to me in English. All right, no, you said that wrong. You're pronouncing that wrong. I don't think anybody likes that, because you're vulnerable. Anytime you step outside of your comfort zone and you're speaking another language, somebody else's language, opening yourself up for criticism, and everybody's not going to be comfortable with that. So I think generally people like it when it's not one way or the other. It's kind of 50-50 where, hey, she speaks a little English, or he, whatever. I don't know who you're dating. But the other person speaks a little English, and the foreigner speaks a little bit of, their language too. So you can kind of meet in the middle. Sometimes, they just really, really want to practice English, and you won't have that trouble. There are certain girls who they're looking for somebody who speaks English. They can, advance themselves with the language very easily. And on the flip side, there's many Americans who come to Spain and they're looking for somebody like, I only want to date Spanish people because, they're going to help me speak the language better. So yeah, there's definitely people who are only looking for somebody who speaks the foreign language. But I feel like if you meet them halfway, if you're studying, they're studying, it's just going to flow so much better as far as your relationship. It won't limit you as much as, just depending on the one partner who's kind of bilingual or who's studying it. If you both are studying it, both working to communicate, both working to not only speaking, but also just being open-minded. If both parties are looking to find out about the other culture, because it would be kind of crazy to be dating somebody from a different culture and not care anything about it. But there are people like that who are just like, all right, you're going to follow me, you're going to learn about my culture, and whatever your stuff is, I'm really not interested in. That's going to strain a relationship or stop the relationship from even happening. And you're going to find that out right away. I've noticed that Spanish women, they really are not time wasters. And I applaud that. I got to give it up for them. They will not waste your time. They basically are confident and they make up their mind whether or not they like what they see. Not just the physical, but they like your vibe. They like your humor and everything. They're going to figure that out very early in the interaction, whether that's online through an app or something like that, or if that's in person, if it's from an introduction or something like that. They're going to know right away, okay, this is a guy I'm a little more interested in, let's take it to the next level. And maybe go on a date or something like that, do something together, hang out. And I feel like in America, yes, there are women who are like that too, who have that same mentality, but there are a lot more time wasters. Time wasters. Any guy who's been dating in both countries can attest to this. I'm not just making this up. I've talked to, other guys who are living here who've been in both countries to compare. Is